Hi Martin, lovely to meet up with you and begin working on your game. Just a quick recap on the key points that we covered. Initial complaint was about the takeaway and the fact that the club rolled behind you too much on the way back. So we see here at the start of your lesson, really good setup from down the line, but then from setup to, let's say, waist level, the club is rolling behind you too much. That's requiring a lot of manipulation during the downswing and is causing other issues further down the line with driver. So the thought or the feeling of the image that we gave you was what we see here with Rickie Fowler. You can see he's the exact opposite of you. And when we look at what's going on and what we related that to, we related it to the back of the left hand. The back of the left hand with Rickie Fowler is pointing more down towards the ground. The back of the left hand with you is pointing more up to the sky. As a result, the shoulder turn seems to be very flat as opposed to being steeper, and when the left shoulder works down and the hips work more, or the right hip works more upwards, it's easier to turn in a centered manner. So the loading of the back of the left hand, we related to it as accumulator 3 yesterday during your session, needs to be done in the appropriate manner. Your left hand accumulator 3 loads too much too soon, whereas what we see with Rickie here is zero loading of the third accumulator from setup to belt line. So with that in mind, what did we produce? We produced a compromise between the two. This is you midway through the session. You can see now as you take the club back, there's much less loading of the back of the left hand during the takeaway. This results in a much better shaft location in the belt line when it's arriving at waist level. You can see now shoulders are turning on a more tilted angle than what we see here at the start of your session. Shaft of the club, rather than rolling behind us and opening the blade, is actually staying a little bit more in front of the hands, and the blade is a little bit more excuse me, toe down. So what you're seeing is a shift from where you were to where you now are by working on the exact opposite. So with the feeling that you had here on the top right was that you were going to make the same takeaway as Rickie Fowler. Top of the backswing position now more in line and much less laid off at the top, much more conducive to attacking the golf ball from the inside. We've got to learn now is how to work those legs properly. We did a little bit of work with the straight right leg to prevent the leg over flexing through the hip area. You can see Rickie's leg's going to return to its address flex before then straightening as he pushes up off the ground, and that extension is a big source of power. Helps you get the ball high with your longer clubs and continues to keep the club coming from the inside. In regards to your driver, the first thing I'd like to see you do is move more weight forward. You can see here on the original setup that both centres marked with the red lines are stacked over the top of one another. Whereas with what we've got here, we've moved the hips forward. The feeling is that you've got 80% of your weight on your left side, and you can see that your upper centre is not really in a different position. That's still in the middle of your stance. It's just that you've created a little bit of side bend. The reason for that is we watch what happens as you go through your swing with this. Centre's stacked. As you now come down, you can't move the hips, or you don't move the hips forward enough. So to create the side bend, you back up, the head starts to move away from the target, and now we've created our side bend, but we've done it by moving the head back excessively. What we're going to try and do is keep the head in a fixed point. We're going to put the side bend in to start with. The hips now are more forward than they were before anyway, There's no need to go looking for the side bend. There's still a little bit of stuff in there from your old move, but you can see now the backing up through impact is not as excessive because we've already got the side bend in place before we start. You can see a completely different look here to the body as well. If I do a line straight up from your left foot, we're backing up. We're moving forward. That was the other feeling that you said you lacked during your session. So you're just putting a piece in there that you struggle with. So you're way back from that left foot at that point. Less back from the left foot. Is it the ideal move? No. Is it a better move? Yes. You can see clearly from that image that the hip centre is more forward as you're coming into your finish on the right hand swing than we see on the left hand swing. So what have we done? We've just moved the hips forward at setup. This gives you the side bend that you're looking for, rather than being set up very much straight up and down. We put that side bend in at the start. Now a lot of guys do that by dropping the shoulders back and dropping the upper centre back. It needs to be achieved by moving the lower centre forward. That means that the upper centre stays in pretty much in the centre of your stance as it is in your original setup. So the location of your upper centre hasn't changed, it's just the position of the lower centre. That's going to give you more trajectory, added to the fact that we now know that we don't want to release that golf club. So you've got weight forward using the lower centre, handle forward, no release. They will be your key thoughts with driver. Good luck with it. Look forward to hearing your feedback and look forward to working with you further on your golf. Well done.